Hello, friends. Welcome to the Case for Life podcast. Is it possible that one political party in the United States today, a major political party, has 100% of its Senate delegation voting to oppose protecting babies who are already born? The sad answer to that question is yes, and I'll explain why on this episode. Great to have you with us. If you've not already visited our social media sites, please do so. Give us a like there and let us know that you're involved, and let others know about this podcast so they can be equipped to defend life too. Well, President Trump has been in office about a week, and already there's been a dramatic event in the U.S. Senate that is related to abortion, but in one sense is not. And here's what I'm talking about. Last week, 100% of Senate Democrats in the U.S. Senate voted to oppose protecting children who survive abortion techniques and end up being born alive. And they voted to deny them any kind of protection or care, and instead refused to give that care to children who survive abortions. Now, let's be clear about what's being talked about here. This is not talking about killing a child in the womb, which is evil enough. This is about killing him after he manages to survive being killed through abortion, and he manages to come out alive. Senate Democrats, 100% of them, voted to deny protections for that child that survives the abortion. You know, I find this just crazy on so many levels. Pro-lifers are always told, oh, you don't care about kids once they're born. You only care about them while they're in the womb. You're not pro-life, you're just pro-fetus. You're just pro-before birth, but you're not pro-birth. You don't care about the kid once he's born. Really? Well, it looks like it's actually pro-abortion Democrats who don't give a rip about kids once they're born, because they won't protect these kids who survive abortion procedures. As you know, this is just nuts to me, and yet this is where we are in our political world today. And it raises a question I want to come back to. I've had people write me and say, you know, it sounds like you're too Republican, like you just endorse the Republican Party. And I want to make something clear. My support for the Republican Party is entirely contingent. Here's what I mean by that. My support for that party currently is something that I could change down the road if they betray our fundamental principles that I hold to as a pro-life Christian. The reason why I support the Republican Party today has nothing to do with me just being a hack partisan. I don't love Republicans just because I'm a Republican. My grandfather was a Republican, and I just hate Democrats. That's not the issue at all. But as a Christian, I have to look at politics through the lens of a biblical worldview. Politics is not something over here on the side that doesn't have any relationship to my biblical worldview. My biblical worldview should inform my politics, and here's how it does so. When I look at a party that says we can delegate an entire class of human beings to be killed without offering any justification morally, that is not a party that aligns with a biblical worldview, and certainly doesn't align with biblical commands against the shedding of innocent blood. So when I look at the Republican Party, what I see is a party that could do a better job defending innocent life, but at least it's not promoting the destruction of innocent human life wholesale. Make no mistake, the Democrat Party is doing that. It takes an entire class of human beings, unborn humans, and sets them aside to be killed even after they are born. They are unwilling to protect children who survive abortion procedures. That's right, leading Democrats like Elizabeth Warren, Chuck Schumer, the whole lot of them, are willing to let children die after they are born. So let's be clear. It's not pro-lifers who don't give a rip about kids once they're born. It's pro-abortion Democrats who don't. And so if you're a Christian and you've been thinking, well, you know, my political involvement doesn't matter much. You know, why should I even get involved? I just want to leave politics alone. May I politely suggest to you, You don't have an option of sitting things out politically. You need to be engaged, and you will have to give an account before the Lord and to your conscience about what did you do when an entire class of human beings was being set aside to be killed. Did you say, I don't want to get my hands dirty with politics, so I'm just going to sit out the political side of life? You don't have that option. You need to bring your biblical ethics to all of life, including the political realm. And that will be messy at times because there's no perfect candidates, there's no perfect parties. But some parties do a better job lining up with biblical truths than others. And a party that says we can set aside an entire class, born or unborn, of human beings to be killed is not a party that aligns with a biblical worldview, and you have a duty to impose the intrinsic evil of that party. So it's true, I am not a Republican no matter what. I'm a Republican contingently, as long as that's the best option I have available to limit the evil of abortion. I will align with that party. If that changes, if somehow through some miraculous turn of events, it ended up being the Democrats that actually supported human life and its value more appropriately, I would align with that party. But for now, in the real world we're forced to live in, I'm going to align with the party that does the best job and gives us the best hope at limiting some of the evil done. Look, I get it. Christians always have to live with a troubling tension between our principles, which are rooted in God's word and are true and objective, and the real world we live in where fallen human beings don't live up to that standard, and we are forced to do the best we can to limit evil and promote good in that imperfect fallen world. And you're not helping matters if you just opt out of the process because you can't get 100% of what you want. You should do the best you can to promote good and limit evil. That's your job as a Christian politically. Thanks for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing you on our next episode.